Let me hear what you have to say. Well, hey, good night. Hey, everybody. Hey, Ronnie Q. Girl, the streets are busy tonight. The streets are busy tonight. And I saw, oh my God, the time passed. I had to rush on over here and stuff. Okay, the streets are hot. Hey, everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome to another segment of, or I should say, another episode of Kick Back with Kerri. Hey, everybody. Hoping you're doing good. Hey, Vibrant Lull. I hope the music in the back is not too loud. Hey, everybody coming in. I'm hoping you're doing good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If it's your first time here to Kick Back with Kerri, where we just kick back and we talk about just about anything. All right. So the topics they differ from time to time. Like I said, it it speaks on relationships. We could speak about family. We speak about pretty much anything. All right. Lifestyle stuff, family stuff. Okay. So that's what we'll be doing. Tonight is a pretty touchy topic for me. It is how do you get over the death of a loved one? A lot of people, are suffering silently, you know, with the passing of their loved ones. And, for some people, their family, their friends, visitors who may attend the funeral or they may show up during the time that, you know, your loved one have passed or during the funeral and all of that, the support is there at that time. But the moment that body goes underground or is cremated or whatever happens, we don't get, you know, the support, or we feel like we're still, you know, trying to deal with the wound that is left, that space that is left. Still didn't get no notifications. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know what happened, Vibrant, but it's a lot going on. I did schedule. I scheduled like Sunday, I think I did, or Saturday is when I made the schedule actually. Oh no. Yeah, Ronnie Q, it's really hard until sometimes, things happen and you got to figure your way through stuff. Um, I'm going to talk very quickly about the 5 stages of grief. There seems to be, apparently, you know, there was this five stages of grief that was developed by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. No, I was not able. I did. Hold on, I did. You did. Read it again. Where is it? Oh, you got. Hold on. Yeah, I think I did both of them the same day, if I understand correctly what you're saying. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for sharing the video. All right, so I was not able to create any visuals for tonight to put on the screen or anything. I couldn't. I am way too tired. I am. I work hard, you know. Hopefully soon, I get some me time and stuff. But I've been really tired, and like for some of you who know, I've been going through some stuff. I've been really sick. It takes a little while. I'm getting back on track, but it does take a little time. Yeah, it takes a little time. All right, so there are a few stages of grief that we hear about all the time. I hope I pronounced her name right. It's Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, and she became famous for her book that she wrote about the type of illness, or the way that people feel when they go through grief. um there are five stages according to her: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Ooh, which one am I at? I don't know, but um do they happen in this order? I don't know. We'll see. I'm going through, as I'm reading. Hey, pretty chocolate girl. Thank you so much. It is hard for you, pretty chocolate girl. I'm pretty sure. Okay, Vibrant, I got you. I got you. I understand what you're saying now. Okay. It's a hard topic for me too, and probably that's why I didn't prepare much as I would have wanted to. All right, so here are the five stages of grief. They are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. The first one, denial, is common. And they say this happens in the early days after bereavement. Um, it's when your head in your head, you know that the person passed, but it's still hard for you to believe that the person who you were, once close with, who you once knew, is no longer present. You won't be able to hear their voice. You won't be able to see them. You won't be able to, have any type of, connection with them anymore. Hey, Queen Diva. Hey, everybody coming in. I appreciate you guys for passing through. So, the first stage is denial. It's when you have that numb feeling, and it is pretty much hard for you to even fathom the idea of that person not coming back. You won't be able to see or hear them. The next stage of grief is anger. And this one is when you start to feel anger towards a person who has died, or anger at your own self for things that you didn't do or didn't get to say before that person passed. That's the anger. Oh Lord. You may also be angry at your creator. You may also be angry at God. Like, you'll be asking your God questions like, why would you do this to me? Why would you take this person away from me? This person did not deserve to die. So you can, become angry. And it is a natural feeling, it's a natural emotion for you to feel. So that is one of the stages also. So we've done denial, we've looked at anger. Now we're going to be going on to bargaining. When we are in pain, it's sometimes hard to accept that there's nothing we can do to change things. So we may start to bargain and make deals with ourselves, or maybe even with God, when you start to change your mindset and you want to maybe start acting in a particular way, start to doing things different, and you may start replaying stuff that happened in the past and asking questions. What if I could go back to that time, what could I have done differently? How would things, turn out? Let me see what Vibrant says. Vibrant says, I believe that if you treat the deceased well, they're living. Sorry. I believe that if you treat the deceased well while they're living, it makes the grieving process easier. That's been my experience. Okay. Welcome to everyone coming in. I appreciate you guys for passing through. Shout out to those who may be watching on the replay. Remember to like the video and subscribe or share if you'd like to. Another stage is depression. Okay, so we've done denial, we've done anger, we've done bargaining. Now we're at depression. Depression is sadness and longing. It is one of the longest process that you have to experience. It can become very intense. It can last for many months as well as it can last for many years, and it makes you feel as if your life holds no meaning, and it can be very scary. The final stage of grief is acceptance. Grief comes in different waves and it can feel like nothing will ever be right again, but gradually the pain eases a little bit and it's possible to accept what has happened. It doesn't mean that you'll ever get over it, but at the same time, you learn to move on and live again. And what you try to do is keep the memories of those we have lost close to us. Now, going through this, it really makes some sense because I was in shock. Um, a year and how many months ago? It's been almost 2 years that a very close member of my family passed on. Well, it's been two of them, but one of them really hurt the most that I really loved. When I say I really love this person, it is really hard. Oh, God. Let me hear what you have to say. I really thought I was ready for this conversation, but I don't know if I can. This is hard. It is really, really is hard. Okay. All right. So, mm-mm, mm-mm. I am so sorry, guys. And just when I thought I was strong. Oh, but okay. All right. What was I saying? Oh my God. Okay. Okay. I can do it. I'm gonna do it. Okay. So at first when I found out, even though I found out that, the person that had grown ill, when I first when I first found out that the person passed, I was in shock. I was in total shock. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where what I didn't know what to do. Um I didn't even know how my life was going to go on. I was very shocked. I couldn't believe that something like that was happening to me. I was unable to hold on. Oh, is that you, Sir William?
Yes, it is, Carrie. Yes, it is.
How are you?
I'm okay, Carrie. I'm kind of. I know how you feel, dear. I usually don't come up and tell everybody stuff, but it is hard. It is hard. But
All right.
what you have to do, you have to think about the things that made you laugh when they were here with us, that made you actually smile, make you felt like you were somebody special, and you are special. And
Mm.
I'm losing someone right now, very, very, very dear to me. It's a day by day basis. I'm sitting back waiting for that phone call.
Mhm.
How am I coping with it? I try to do things that remind me of the pleasure and the joy that they gave me while they were here able to do it.
1 second. Is that you, Ronnie Q?
Yes, it is. Go ahead.
Hi, Ronnie Q.
All right, Carrie.
Hi, Ronnie Q, dear.
Hey, hey, Mr. William. Now, Carrie. Um,
Mhm.
I know, I know it's hard. Um, if you want me or William to tell our story first, and maybe you can tell us if there's similarities. Maybe I don't know. Um, if you want to just get yourself together for a second.
Okay. I'll be right back. I thought I was strong enough for this, but I guess reading this thing a while ago kind of hit me. I'll be right back. Thank you so much for coming up.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna step
You're
away
welcome.
for a little.
No, Mr. William, I interrupted you.
No, go ahead. You go ahead, lady. You know I always say ladies first, dear.
Yeah, I don't even know when to say that you get over it. That's the thing, is different with different people, and it's different depending on. For me, it has been different depending on who the person was in my life. Um, my the one death, well, two deaths happened very, very suddenly, just really suddenly. uh I just did not know what to do. When I got the word that one person was passing away, they were actually on life support system. So I felt that I did not have a chance or an opportunity to tell them goodbye. But I one day I was in the hospital, and their eyes were even taped down because their lids wouldn't close. So they had gauze over their eyes, and they put tape over their eyes, and to keep their eyes moist so they wouldn't dry out. And they were on life support system. And I had prayed and prayed and prayed. They survived like 4 days, and I prayed and prayed and prayed, and I was like, oh God, they say you do miracles, please give a miracle. And then one day I just realized that, maybe the best thing that I could do was to let that person go. And I went to their room, and then I just started talking to them. And they always say to talk to people who may be in a coma, who may be on life support. They always say talk to them. And I start talking to that person, and I just told them that I was okay, that other people who were close to them were okay, what they were doing in their life, and then I said that it was okay if they rested. And all of a sudden, tears started running down their eyes, all all into their ears, and it scared me so much because I knew it was a problem keeping their eyes moist, that I rang for the nurse. And then she came in, and I was like, oh, what is going on with his eyes? And she said, she looked at both of them, and she said, he's crying, dear. Keep talking to him. He hears you, dear. Just keep talking. And it just, at that moment, in the moment of it, you never get any relief. But it's the hindsight of the knowing that these people who have left your life, have, imparted something real deep and special in your life, and they do know that we are okay. So you may not see it now, and that is one of the hardest memories, but I am so happy that I had that memory to know that he understood that I would be okay if it was his time to rest. So I thought about, one day I was like, when am I going to stop thinking about this every day? And then it was just like miraculously, one day I realized I haven't thought about this. I haven't thought about him in like over a week, and then I kind of felt guilty, like, oh my God, you're so bad. You didn't think about them in over a week. But I think that is the process of us, wanting to hold on. Me, it's the process of me feeling guilty that I didn't think of them today. It's not like I didn't think of them today, but I didn't have to think about them every day, and my heart was able to still keep them in my heart, but continue on. And that's what happened to me. So, William, go ahead.
Yes,
I
a
think
lot of
I'm
people
good now.
don't believe you. You're good, dear.
Woo!
Okay, glad
Mm. Go
glad
ahead,
you're okay.
William.
That's well. I'm not gonna. We're not gonna try to, like I said, dwell on. I'm gonna think about the things that make me smile and made me happy while that person was with me and around me, and even this person that I got transitioning now. I'll put on music. I'll dance in the floor even by myself sometimes and say, hey, it was good. It was good.
This person that's
We all
transitioning
have.
right now will. I'm sorry. Go
Yes,
ahead.
yes, they are. Yes, they are. But
This person who is transitioning right now, are they able to speak to you? Are you able to
no.
talk to them?
Yes,
No.
yes, I can talk to them.
So they're
But
not able to respond.
they're not able to respond. And the last
Mm.
time we did speak, which was about a week and a half ago, they told me they were tired.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, so
Maybe you could take a
it
little bit
hurt.
of what Monica said a while ago, maybe talk to that
Yeah,
person and let them know that
yeah.
everything is okay, the
And I
things they're
said it was
worried
okay.
about.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, there's
I
an echo
told
on
her
mute.
it was
Somebody.
okay. So it's one of those things where you're only human. We all have emotions, we have those feelings, and we should never feel guilty. Do I feel guilty about them transitioning? No. The only thing I feel guilty about is that the time that I didn't spend with them. That's all. The times I could have called and said, hey, I love you, or hey,
Yeah.
how are you doing today? Those are the times that I miss. But there have been times when we've called and talked for hours and hours and hours. So,
I think I think one of the reasons why I'm also a bit upset is because I had made arrangements to go and visit the person because it's somebody who I like visiting.
Hmm.
And it's during that time that I got my toe broken and I did not want to do any traveling and stuff. Right, it was
Well,
about that time too. So I felt so bad that I wasn't able to visit the person before they got sick, before they
yeah,
fell, you know, and got to their lower self, I should say.
yeah,
So it kind of hurt me because I wasn't as mobile as I wanted to be. So that is one of the reasons why it hurt me even more. And when I did get around to, still going out to visit them, it was not the position that I saw them in, it was really, really bad.
it was really
And
hard, right?
that's when I saw them in the hospital. You're accustomed to seeing this person bright and, sunny, always, you know,
Mhm.
making us feel warm inside and, always happy or giving stories and stuff. And
Right,
then you're
right.
seeing them in a hospital bed and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it,
Not a thing.
you know? And then you're there and I worry, are these people taking care of them when the family is not around? Because you know how it can be in the hospitals too.
Hmm.
If family is
Hmm.
not around to
Yes,
keep,
I know.
checking on them and making sure they're okay. So that kind of hurt me. Yeah. So the
Well,
different stages, did you go in the denial stage at any time, Ronnie Q?
denial. No, I haven't been going into denial because I guess because I'm so old myself, and I know sooner or later I might be transitioning. I don't
Mhm.
claim it, but I know it's
Don't
going to
claim it
happen.
yet, William.
No,
But
no.
it's inevitable, yeah.
But the only denial that I ever had in my life about someone that's gone on is that, like you, I felt like I'd be wondering to myself, what would have happened if I had a call that day? Would they still be here? And I know that's not for me to answer, but it's those little kind of things because, like I say, we're only human. We only listen to our subconscious about things about what if, and that word if is big. So I
Right.
try to stay away from if and think of positive things, because I look now, they don't have any bills. They're not going to have that bill to worry about. They're not going to have to worry about cooking all day or cleaning or going out to the work job and listening to a bunch of people or the everyday strifes that make us get out and try to cope with things. Even with politics, we cope with that. That gets on our nerves sometimes. So they're resting. As far as I'm concerned, they're resting. I'm the one here suffering still because I got to deal with those kind of things.
That's a good way to think about it because um when this happened, some of my family members, I kept asking them like, how are you just moving on and just going about your day-to-day life like nothing happened? um and they had to continuously remind me the type of person my loved one was. This
Hmm.
person was always, happy, wanted to see people happy, always loving and stuff. They would never want to see you here crying and being depressed and stuff. And especially the fact that they made peace with the fact that they were going to be leaving the earth. um I shouldn't be, going
Yeah,
through,
we
I
should
should not be beating myself up and
beating up. Right. That's
getting
like me. I
myself
shouldn't be
angry
beating
all the
myself
time.
up.
Getting I got myself real sick.
Hmm.
I got really sick. I am telling you, I did not know I could, the whole maybe it was depression. I don't know what it was. It was something, but
Well, it's a depression does
whatever
hit
it
us when we
was,
lose a loved one or somebody we care. That depression hits, and if we
it
don't
was
check it or
something.
try to get it in check,
My
that's
body
why.
was weak.
Yeah, that's why I feel they
And I'm
have
talking
new
about for
passes.
months.
Yeah, see, that's
Go
the
ahead, I'm
time when we
listening.
should go. And even me, I did it too. I'll admit I had to do it. I had to go talk to a psychiatrist about it because I loved that person so much until it was affecting my everyday life,
Oh
and I was
yeah.
depressed about it. So,
I couldn't
yeah,
function at all. I couldn't, and sometimes I'll be on here, trying to get away from it all, and then it seems
hmm
like
hmm
the moment you're going through stuff on here is the moment people try to come at you. I'm telling you,
yeah, yeah.
I am
I
telling
know
you,
exactly what
that's
you're
the
talking
moment the
about.
devil decides to try to work on, send those obstacles along the way, and it has happened over here. I'm telling you, a few
Yeah,
obstacles came my way during that time, but my family reminded me that they would never want to my loved one would never want to see you moping around and treating
right.
yourself the way you are. Like, I spoke a few times about the fact that I was eating like a lot of junk food and stuff that I don't normally do. I was eating chocolate ice cream. I even started eating meat and stuff. Well, I was like, I was
Yeah,
just eating unhealthy, I'll put it that way,
yeah,
just to find stuff that would comfort me when I was feeling a little bit down. And that was also affecting my health too, the bad eating that I picked up, um there are times I couldn't function. I'll be out, I would see someone who looks like my loved one, and I'll just bust out crying in
bust
public.
out
I
crying.
don't even
Yeah,
care where I am.
and
It
those
was
are the
really
times. Like I
affecting
said,
my day-to-day
I've
life.
been through that. I've been through it. Believe it or not, I'm a man. Men have feelings just like women do too. And sometimes
Mhm.
I think a man, by him keeping it to himself, that's what causes him to really go out and do stupid stuff or say stupid things to people at times because I've been at a place and I seen someone and they said someone about something and I would snap because the person that I loved and care about is no longer here. And I know if they were still here with me, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't have been doing that. I'd have looked at them and walked on off. But it's just that we try to lash out sometimes, and like you say, we'll get depressed. So health wise, that it does affect us health wise. But when it starts us to really, like you say, want to be off in a corner somewhere by yourself, it's time to be real with yourself and say, hey, look, I don't. They didn't want me to live like this. They didn't want me to be like this.
Exactly. You have to remember that. That's one of the main things that they kept telling me. She would never want to see you
Hmm
living like this. She would never want to see you going through this. So,
Right.
you have to pull yourself together. And one of the other things that they told me that really helped me, especially a few months back, maybe the past 2 or 3 months, is to remove all those photos that you may have
hmm
of, let us say, for example, I took a photo of the person in the hospital and they were not at their best, and I had that, and sometimes I look at it and it'll make me sick all over again. you know
Oh,
Yeah.
you had photos of the funeral. you
now
Right.
know
those photos. Okay, so this person who was in the hospital, different things happen to you when you're passing, in of that way, and it's just really odd because right before I was put into somebody's echoing. I think it's you, Mr. William. Right
Okay.
before
Yeah.
that, right before yes, that was you, Mr. William. Right before I was put in that situation, and it's weird because myself and my sister had to make this decision, and right before I was put in that situation, I was out. You didn't have to drop, Mr. William. I was out and about, and I came across this magazine, and it had real small print because it was a news like magazine, and it had the topic of when to pull the plug, and it went through the stories of three families, three different situations of them having to decide whether or not to pull the plug on their loved one, and
Mm-mm.
it's like we it was this was before anything happened with me, and I was able to read all three stories, and then uh, I was able to hear what was going on with the person on the machines, what was breaking down in their bodies, and when the doctor would come to them and tell them to make the decision. And it had little graphs, little sub articles, little everything. And as soon as I read the last word in that piece, it was time for me to do what had come to do when I just ran across this magazine. It was like, okay,
Oh
time to
no.
get to what you really came out here for. And the
Mm.
very next week, I was in that situation. So when things were happening, I already knew. It was like God really walked me through this, and I couldn't see it at the time. See,
Right.
sometimes you have to understand when God has really walked you through, and hindsight is 2020. Um, I was able to, and then when I kept on saying I didn't get a chance to talk to the person, then the tears came, and then I remembered the last time I had talked to the person on the phone. The last thing we said to each other is "I love you." You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I start feeling better when I
Right.
got a different type of perspective on what I had gone through, but it took a while. I'm not saying like, I was looking, grasping for straws. These things came to me after a while, and I realized how God had carried me through. Is my point.
Right. And led you to that magazine too, for you to be able to read and prepare yourself for what was supposed to come
Yeah.
inevitably. Wow. All right. Pretty Chocolate Girl was in here earlier on. She said this is too hard. This is a hard topic for her, so I'm not sure she would be able to stay. Um, so far, one of the points that I read that says one of the things you have to do is recognize the difference between grief and depression. Whenever you're experienced, one that's one of the suggestions that one don't remember the name of the doctor that wrote this piece that says you have to recognize, is it that you're grieving this person, or are you going through something else, a different stage where you're actually really depressed and you're at the point where you may be hurting your own self? Do you want to go down in the same fashion as the person who passed? So you have to be able to understand when you're depressed, so you'll be able to go and find ways to deal with it. Do you need to seek the help or the support for grief loss? Are there people you could talk to? Do you need to get yourself together? Do you need to go and visit your doctor? You never know. you know it may be a burden for you to carry, but at the same time you have to be able to take care of yourself. So if it means finding yourself a therapist or a grief counselor, a pastor, or somebody that you can speak to, you can even do online therapy if you find yourself in such a space. You have to be able to differentiate between the two. Another thing it um spoke about, apart from turning to your family and stuff, it is also um important for you to join support groups. You may find them online. It may not have to be you have a physical support group. For some people, they have that for those who attend church and so on. But it's a good idea to find out if at the hospital there are support groups, if at hospices they have support groups. The funeral homes also have support groups too, as well as counseling centers that you can go to. So I am imploring those persons who may be going through stuff right now. You may not feel like you need to speak to someone, but trust and believe it's best not to isolate yourself. You may need a little time to isolate yourself in the beginning, to get over the whole fact that the person is gone and all of that. But don't isolate yourself for too much, because you need some type of support, whether it is from family, whether it's from a support group, wherever you're going to get it. You have to find a support group or just someone that you can talk to. So that's one. Also, another point that I read was that you have to also support yourself emotionally by taking care of yourself physically. That pretty much ties into what, I just spoke on a while ago. Understand that, you need to take care of your emotional needs as well. And by doing so, you'll be able to take care of your physical needs. Are there any other pointers that you could give, Will?
Well, other than myself being knowing that I have to take care of my health in order to be here longer. You do have to get that support, no matter where, how. You said you can go on the internet, you can go to support groups, you can go talk to your pastor, you can do let people know that you're hurting. How can you sit there and just, I don't know, I've done it. And when I look at myself when I've done it, it hurt me even more. So life, and between life, a child being born, and anybody leaving this earth, it's gonna hurt us. It's gonna hurt us. But
I don't rem-
we have to
Go ahead. Let
know
me mute.
that
Go ahead.
it hurts, man. It hurts. You know,
I don't
even
remember
while
if it
letting it
was
know.
Ronnie Q. Ooh, I think there's a little bit of delay. I don't want to overtalk you. Let me mute while you finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was a delay. Something going on with the Wi-Fi here too. Like I said, I'm going through it right now, and I'm just glad that I was able to say something about it to someone again. I talk to people also, but in trying to help you out to just think of things that make you happy with that when that
Yeah.
person was here, and even if they haven't left yet, like in my case, but I know they're gonna go.
Yeah.
Smile
I'm really
and
sorry to hear
get
about
up and
that,
breathe.
William.
Well, it is
A part of
so, I don't know. It's I've been through so many transitionings this year, and and to be honest with you, sometimes, Carrie, I do wonder, when is my turn next? When am I going to be next? And why should I sit around and do that? But I'm only human. Like my doctor said, you are grieving, and you don't want to grieve alone. So we should never want to grieve alone. Period. I do, but I don't, and I'm glad of that because, like you said, when you love somebody and you care about them, really, really do, you don't want to see them go. You don't want to see them leave. But we have to realize, as sure as we're born, we're going to transition, and that's the
right.
way life is.
Um, I don't remember who it was that I was speaking to some time ago. I don't remember if it was Ronnie Q or if it was Proud Glamour. It was someone. It was on this channel also. They also suggested journaling. Now it may seem, corny and is not, something that you would want to do, but it would be nice, when you have like thoughts about that person or you remember an important moment or something that happened. It's okay for you to journal what you want your loved one to know. It's okay for you to, write something, have a little book that you keep, or whether or not you want to have it on, a device. You can also write how you're feeling, you know what do you want your loved ones to know? The person who passed on, what do you want them to know? Do you want to give them an update of how you're feeling? Do you want to let them know how you're missing them? Do you want to tell them what's going on with your life today, your children, family, as if you'll be able to talk to them? So, journaling is also a good thing that can also ease your pain a bit, because it still helps you to feel as if you have a connection with that person. So journaling is good. Writing a letter is also good. I think that we spoke about this some time ago too. Writing a letter is good, things that you didn't get the opportunity to say to your loved one. Do you want to write a goodbye letter to them? And you can have a whole ceremony or something when you're done with the letter that you've written. And for some, they may want to put it somewhere where there's water. Some people may burn it when they're done, but it's also a good way to heal that wound. So I have written a few things. I've written a poem, and I was really happy while I was writing it. I wrote a poem because most of the stuff I was writing about the person was so hilarious, because that's the nature of the person who passed, because that is just something in our family where we like to do things to make people comfortable and make each other happy and stuff. So, you know, that is how my family is, because we don't like to take stuff too seriously and, whatever. But I wrote a poem. It's a really nice poem. I won't be able to share it on here though, but I find that writing is also a really good thing.
Yes, it is.
I think I'm gonna have to wrap up right here. I think I've said
Okay,
enough.
cool.
Um,
I don't
Well,
like to journal. I just want to say I don't like to journal. I used to always want to have a diary. I never would write in my diary. I'm not good at that, but that is a good idea to actually, sometimes you don't even know what you're feeling. Sometimes you're feeling restless, and sometimes you want to eat something, or you could, sometimes you could want to, if you're a drinker, you may want to go out and get, twisted or something like that. But I think that is a really good idea. Um, Recently, I had something that happened very, very unexpected, very tragic, and no time to prepare. And I know that one of my family members, the mother, is in counseling herself. So that counseling is definitely something that I would also suggest. So that's all I have.
yeah, I appreciate you, and thank you, Ronnie Q and William, for coming up when I was breaking down. I didn't even expect that to happen. I appreciate your support, your virtual support, because I was wondering, like, where are these tears coming from and why are they coming right now? Because I thought, I was comfortable enough to speak on it, since I had, like, a real talk with another family member, like, recently, who told me, you'll be okay. And that is what eased me, or made me feel a little bit better. So I thought I was strong enough to come and talk about it. So I really do appreciate you too for coming up when I was, having a moment.
Yeah, and you may not
well,
be able
thank
to
you for
talk about it
having
all
us
at
up.
one time. You may have to just take
Right.
it, you may have to piecemeal it, and
Hmm.
you'll get to that point. You may have to say like one little instance, one little thing, and then it'll all come together. Don't try to force it. So
Yeah.
just I like, you know feel okay about the moment that uh you and your other family member talked about, and the moment that you were able to get to about the situation. Everybody is different, and nobody really has the answer or the timeline, is all I'm saying. Thank you, William. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kerry.
I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank you
so
for having
much.
us up, and God bless you, Ronnie Q. And
And
you guys
William,
have
I'm
a
really sorry to hear about,
Yes, you
what
as
is
well.
what you have
yeah.
going on.
It's
And I'm hoping that
it's
that
it's.
person
I'll be
finds
okay.
peace.
I'm gonna be okay. God has got me. God has got me on
All
this one,
right.
and my friends and people like you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q dropped down. And William dropped down. I appreciate you all for coming through, and for those who were watching in the bushes. I think I've gone through my stages of grief. 5 stages of grief. um I think I'm at the last one, the fifth one. I think I am. I went through the denial already. I was really angry. Um I went through the bargaining. I went through the depression. The depression, it was the longest for me. And at times you won't even know you are depressed. You hear me? You won't even know you are depressed. So that is one of the reasons why you should not isolate yourself from like your friends and family. Do not isolate yourself from them because you may be experiencing depression and you don't even know. I am now at acceptance. There's no quick and easy way to get over it, but I am now at the acceptance stage where I'm like, okay, yes, this happened. The pain is easing a little bit. I am functioning okay again. I may not fully get over what happened, but I understand that life is precious. I understand that that person was played a very important role in my life, but at the same time, I am learning to live again. I am learning that my life goes on even though they're gone. So I am learning to accept that they're gone. I am learning that, you know, everyone comes at different stages in your life. Some people stay, some people have to go. And I am learning to only stick to the very positive memories that I have. I am learning right now, once I feel so much better, that I deleted all of those pics when the person was in pain or the person was sad. All I have in my phone, all I have in my possession are pictures and videos of when I was getting those really nice stories, of pictures when, she got all dressed up and looked nice, pictures when we were, videos when we were hanging out and chatting crap. I have those to remember. I have those to go by, the memories to go by, you know, videos of when we, went out for rides, just jump in the car and drive to nowhere and come back. I have those to remember. Um what are some of the things you do? William and Ronick, you gave us a few tips, we have to accept that this person is going. And also, Ronnie Q said she was able to talk to the person to let them know, everything is going to be okay. It's okay if you want to rest now, let assure them that it's okay and you'll be okay. Assure them there is nothing to worry about. Assure them that you're here for them. Assure them that you are here for them. Um, Also, I mentioned journaling if you can. Some people don't like writing. If you want to just record how you're feeling and then, have a time when you erase them, you maybe do a month's worth every day, you record something. Some people have ceremonies. They'll write stuff on, like cards or paper and then, have, candlelight where they'll burn them and stuff or go read them at the hmm, read them. There are so many things that you can do. Um, Also, you may also want to find support groups. I mentioned that. Find support groups. Some people, they may not want to have to speak to like other people about how they're feeling. Find those online support groups. You can have a whole different name. You don't have to let people know what your real name is or much about your person, your personal life, but you can find those online um support groups. You could find um a church, a pastor, a counselor. It could be your friend. It could be anyone that you want to, speak to. So find a support group or a support person, whether it's online, um whether it is physically, you know? So that's another thing that you could do. So try as best as possible to be patient with yourself. Try as best as possible to remember, that the person who passed on would not want to see you, you know, depressed. They wouldn't want to see you at a stage in your life when you are not healthy because of how you're dealing with their passing, so that is something you can do. Also, one of the main things I think you should also not do is to keep your feelings inside. Don't keep it in. It is very important for you to let your feelings out. Um, don't feel pressure to, oh, I want to look strong for my other family members and stuff. So I am going to, put up this front that I'm doing okay. No, let yourself react. If you have to cry, cry. If you have to go in the car and cry, do that. I've done that so many times. You hear me? I have sat in the car. I have had to pull over. I have gone through so much stuff. And at some points, I had to be giving myself pep talks. I'm like, girl, get yourself together. I'd be driving and I can't see shit. Have to pull over. And I'm like, come on, you have to get yourself together. So, yes, you have to let your feelings out. Do not keep it in because you want to be strong for others. Show your feelings. Be patient with yourself, like I said before. For some people, um, whether it means taking up something different, a new habit, a healthy habit, whether it's walking, running, doing something different, just remember to take care of yourself physically, because this is an emotional thing, but it can also affect you physically. And I learned that the hard way, because I did not know I, I told you guys that I got really sick the other day, and I did not know that had to do with that. Well, I can't even talk about that because this is some of the audience's beef sector. I wish I hadn't started over here because I would have shared way more. But I found out the hard way that I was hurting myself more than anything else. So please remember to take care of yourself. Talk to your doctor if you need to, because grief can make you like really tired emotionally and physically, and it could also lead to a poor diet. I am telling you that. Okay? I am telling you. So try to do things that will uplift you. I know it's hard. You will never get over it very quickly. You will never ever get over it quickly. But at the same time, you have to take care of yourself. Do not feel worthless. Do not feel as if, you don't need to move on with life. No, your life goes on, you know? So you have to take care of your own life. And finally, forgive yourself. And why am I saying this? One of the first stages of grieving that I read earlier on was the denial, and then there was the other one that says bargaining and stuff. What you could have done and what you should have been able to do this or say this. You know what? You can forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not being able to be there in time or to make such and such decision. You should have done this. Maybe if I was able to talk to her, this wouldn't happen. Maybe if I was there when they called me, maybe if forgive yourself. Be kind to yourself. Do not live in regret for too long, you know, and focus on the good memories. Hey, Lamar. Thank you for passing through again, Lamar. I was just about to wrap up. Um, do you have a way that do you have you had a loved one that passed on, and is there anything that you would like to share to let others know how you dealt with it? How were you able to cope with it? If you want to, you could type that in the chat. Um, those are the things I can think of. Um, Deal with the reality of your loss. It may be intense. You may be heartbroken. You may feel guilty. You may experience a lot of different feelings, but at the same time, you know, you have to move on. You have to take care of yourself. If there's anybody else who wants to share how they got over it, let me know. We've gone 58 minutes, and like I said, I don't want to do more than 30 minutes to an hour for my Kick Back with Kerry. Um I am happy that I was able to talk about this. I think I've pretty much covered all the different things that you can do. Um I'm going to go. I appreciate you all for passing through. Special shout out to Ronnie Q and William for being here. Thank you for the support. Um, maybe if none, Maybe if you guys didn't click the link, I would be on here crying us up a storm and forgetting to mute my microphone. You hear me? I really, I really do appreciate you guys for coming up because trust and believe, I would have forgotten what to do. I would have forgotten I was on here. I don't know. You'd be here for an hour hearing me cry, and I would be so embarrassed. Or maybe not, because I've cried some spaces that I've seen people and they're looking at me crying. I'm like, bitch, I don't know you, so I can cry if I want to. It's my feelings. I'm going through something, and I will cry if I want to. I have been in the store shopping, pushing my trolley, doing my own thing, my cart, and I saw someone who looked like her, and I just busted out crying. What am I supposed to do? Keep it in and hurt myself? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. And life has a way of putting people around you or making you see stuff that reminds you of the person. Oh my goodness, that's also the hard part. You'll be walking around and seeing people who may have similar mannerisms or, maybe have their hair combed the way this person used to comb their hair. There may be so many things that may trigger you when you go out there. You hear me? But it's for you to be strong, child. It's for you to be strong. And I don't care. I'm crying. I am releasing it. You hear me? I am embracing the grief. Okay. Let me see what Lamar wrote. Lamar says, I have had many loved ones lost. Time will make it better, but it won't make it go away, but not go away. You are right. And that is what I tell people sometimes. It takes time. Time heals all wounds. You may not understand when people are telling you it's going to take time. Look at me. It took me almost 2 years. It takes time, but you will eventually be okay and be able to function okay, normally again. It takes time. It really does. But, that's it and that's all. I am gonna go now, and I appreciate you guys for passing through. If you have ideas for different topics that you'd like to talk about on Kickback with Kerry, please feel free to type it in the comment section. Um, and we'll see what happens. I appreciate um your input about the different ways that you're able to deal with the death of your loved ones. If you were not able to make this live and you're watching on the replay, go ahead and type in the chat in the comment section at the end of the video. What are some of the things that you were able to do to get over the death of a loved one? Thank you so much for passing through, and I'm gonna go. This has been Kickback with Carrie, and we'll kick back sometime next week. Okay, bye.
Let me hear what you have to say.
Bye, guys.